CareFinder is a real estate company that focuses on property development within the Gambia. We pride ourselves with providing not just quality and durable houses, but also state-of-the-art designs tailored to our clients' tastes and expectations. Our unique experience and expertise is second to none in the industry. We are currently building and selling 3-bedroom bungalows at Sukuta Traffic Lights and Jabang. We're also building and selling 3-bedroom story buildings at Sukuta Paradise. Other sites are also in the pipeline. With CareFinder, payment options are available. With just 40% deposit, you can get your house started. For more information, contact us on 329-5188, 727-0049, 709-8418. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CareFinder. With CareFinder, you are assured of a secure investment.
Nyatimbu ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia lemu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyatimu ete kufuri mbala kentala ni. Ke nyatimbu ntali taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyatimbu. Yo min fo enta sija. Ntanga moyro ko APS wallet isa ko do kinu. Min tata fa wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindi ja
ako natimbo nkoy ko kabo transito kata wala fa wuli muan ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal ike tamuna ike charge mun fa abuka fensi 1% na malam wati
wota yara gamen no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko ko do ki ibadi ngol
yajale ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibini abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas power isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
otambade ngameno albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lambaylo kon APS wallet nyaata doro barin kodo nim fata do suko kon to
dañu be fo no le mol ñala jam nim fata do suko kon mbafole
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namundi
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
Assalamu alaikum baringol ngari konton kale bismillah ko reke momo be kerfaatu jibe ka nyen tembenna alla di grand bantaba programme o min kanale arjuma ni nyin wato sita ba fala mo be ko al bismillah nyin programme wala mi alon ko kanale nyin wato la suto Gambia time wala ni nyin wato sita don talan sey nata mi tamini di tan sabala e be ajibe kan Gambia fanna dawada la ba fala ko bismillah nyin programme o do nganna sponsor tendu ke jey baake mi nyin programme o fasa ka sembentu yandi wallem CareFinder ti aning APS ngebe tenduke jey baake CareFinder ko korra wafole ke Gambia banko kanjang itolem nyantangol ti ni ata korra wafola Gambia jang e ka korra lolu kele natara ken kensangale be bulu ale sampulol gelem yalon ko wolelo andu e ka dunde Facebook oto aljabala ibo lori nyimma sifa la ke gammo jamaale Gambia banko kanjang ni defanan lafta duron isio loro sifa kirno le bari kordalorin bandigol fana mbiye bulle mi alon koy ba wafi kan ni lafta ken question wala ko fana wafile ali contact la number be tara bari kan screen o dumale pour ali la number ta e kordal soro fanna belto gambia banko kan jang APS don mbafala mobe ko eta APS wallet o nyin download imo wallet leti mi alon ko abetara bakele ni be sirin so kono ni mala fi kata nawek wala kata biri ko credit sangola be min kala dongi bela abo yella ye credit ko sang wala cash power donc charges ni mu free leti bu ke charge fenna charges mu free of charge leti so it's important pour molbe eta jing abo download tare la mobile o andi ni la fa ko do kila don asone ata bakele bayren karo kono si wuli mu wanyol kinole free of charge te charge la hani fenna with APS to damale ba ki Gambia banko kan jang woto mobeta APS abo download science na se muna fan nyum ku kendo la mi alon ko ibe wolle ke kan Gambia banko kan jang woto mutanale ne koteke ani ngano da grand bantaba milba jibe kan YouTube ba fala mobi alle subscribe na YouTube channel wala milba jibe kan Facebook alsasiano but al style sen mole very important pour be mol ma ko la bakele na do ko to mi alon ko be wolle ke kan Gambia banko kan jang al style sen mole mol mi alon ko le ba jibe kan Facebook mutanale ne ani luntan kotenna bidum being min soro nyaato demanding alba jalale but first be mbafala Abdourahim ko welcome
ya buba barka bake da bake kamurun nan jam ko teke be do ko nyol kontonna min tamu jam fana faatu ba kontonna be la mo ral ni juber lal fana be kontonna ani min kanyum programme o follow yeah
thank you so much Talibo
baraka bake buba be mol kontonna min kan jibe jam min fana ka futa jam pro kana ka la time ota kana programme o ke programme la jiati wo muy fonleti suite yo nyim fana wo mu fature dama sa fa krefatu ba kontona na la staff lu mo be ani mo ndin ka esin wulindi kana ka nyim banta ba programme o nyim ka ke be kontona ni na ko participant men be kana jang be kontona kal tentu kal jayla pour ka ntanda la drum fojuma ko tege mbal kontona kal tentu kal jay
yeah bi opposition bortal de opposition bortal
bu gafele opposition jang ko opposition ti jang man sa ñini nan le be jang
opposition bortal bayo ti jang
opposition
Ablaye ti jang
be bortal
ay bortal so bi but anyway Ablaye la Ablaye minister is emergency bayo fanan ko ay emergency la soto
alors ba Ablaye lafta kala non dibito do yalla lo député yalla
abla lo da foñi kansala ya
ok ni Ablaye no dol gagné ta jangul la ila député bu ko be kidé la na eti ala fana so yalo ala fana mu ko ko kense alo ne ko pol be kunna jomal to ko le gagné
yes because jay to legal lead jam opposition legal lead jam opposition legal lead andong talibo le kana juna thank you so much talibo ga tedu ga je ba ke be dunna programme moto wofe bidum jannim ben luntango dundila mi yenna bayo kara wala mi kam fati creation di ko ali aje nyame nyin lokum flol milbe tambira tele na bayol fanankara nyin do fana tele akara alja kumandino on the 523 4379 523 4379 523 4379 ngale akumandi on nombala donga be karalo kala lenne andong ibe dawada kararo nyinsi futano yimale adabe karala nyantangol kono le Gambia banko kanjang andong Gambia dingolem fana mi alon ko of course abe fen jamala ki kan Gambia banko kan jambi na luntango mo Omar of course Saibo di mo jamali alon ne GALA atele mi la PRO di nin kuma la kuma kawol atele ka fo Gambia banko kan jang ka fo mi alon ko wole lota ko manto non kabring of course kibar kaytolu bala fintitale ko ya jammela asset solu mi alon ko ye wolle wafinon amanta anin sido la bari e tol mum molle defana mi alon ko e lotale pour que protest ke pour ko corruption o mi alon ko wole be Gambia banko kan jang pour isa bayno nyamen walatina e saferol kenun ka samba do kudla bundal to milbe Gambia banko kan jang ila last protest ye saferol kelenun ka samba wodulal to andum fanan ye fly al findindile ko e nyanda kata fanan nationwide tolam ñil bebe kala kolleti mi alon ko nyanta kacala but Omar welcome
Thank you. Abaraka bake Buba. Be jibel lal ni la molal be kontona. Famandum kada ba. I'm glad to be back actually. Be talibo kontona. I don't know bari ngamara nyi museto poli nak. Mira ka gram banda ba jibe la keka absent. Bi nat na ka talibo Camara. I don't know talibo
na absent ba digital. Na absent ba digital.
Buba. Ya politician be yalo kilo na kitabulat na I have to come. Bari ite fo yalo ko le gala.
Yes.
Ni de kacha ko ni mun diwlet.
Yes.
So man la fi
we mole interview here last time daga je ko wa bum fama fran tirima balti no but bar kachal fo france ke MPP wo GALA wo UDP wo nata munen banko la nyato tani yiruwa mbebe wuli wala fonsi bulu different bulo le muta drop bar nata be mumunti pour ñim banko yiruwa pour molier fond na faye yiruwa banko ta nyato me rahman fran kontona Abdurrahim fran kontona ba play ko al nimbara and I look forward to a very truthful discussion on the post GALA protest 2025.
Yeah, samba kuma sala wolto post GALA protest ale petition lulu nyongol sambale institutional to pour isi actilam. So how far ale mong results lesoro?
Buba nga petition lulu le safi. Fula at the office of the president and yung letter flow are directly addressed to the office of the president while the oil scandal ti aning fanang the AKI, that is the 66 plus children that died since 2022 and recommendation keda National Assembly investigation recommendation keda but hani bi victim recently from muna na fong ngoda dun jewling ngajele National Human Rights Commission la report bon annual report bon and part of it they recommend that the government should engage government nyanta katale ening dinul alfale diamo because in yobe ko hani sa justice man soto dinul la fa and dinul man fa ning because ila wato le sida dinul fatal because tilimbali ani boro mu manya na dunda banko kon wala dunda banko ka so naraka National Assembly safe ni haklo bato Sanji Killing Koma Madi Jobate Babukar Nyang aninta fon Omar Camara nga petition safe du nga samba National Assembly petition be dending ka kenol la talaro nyim banko ka kisi and kaje ko man sakunda lu aso there is a Lands Act and Land Act mu fo wolem banko ding characteristics le biye mu yalon ko ni yol meet requirement le biye mu yol meet is that no Land Commission through that act ye keno apply pour keno so ni atri ba yiri wandila no ni atri ba lola no and nata kaje ko buba nyim banko kan dal tel fukarul bukawo access soto ka lu atamandika corral soto wala ka kenol soto bari minister nin director nin politician ol be kenol soto la dula di ko jabu government resaflet wala nin keno bi jam pour government ya yiri wandi ay mol mako yala ni taraje ka jele ko minister kenol soto wotol bi nga nin lettero safe wala petition di nga samba National Assembly the National Assembly clerk mang del jabi wala del 3 activism mu yakenum in 2024 gala nata ka jiko was still an important thing man naka foko na man sakunda dokulal manya naka kenol soto bari ni ajibe minister be nyim banko kan janaka ke minister de ay keno so wala ay korra so dole practically ni na ka jibe fran nke jo kolo munna is sufficient ka korra say ano Lands Act fana wo fele momun sembo man korra di ano la te kodo so no la amang fankamaya wala mang kodo so ka korra sang nyanta ko mosi falle mako so nara ko faransa veto di National Assembly we did not get any response and then come in president office ma response to follow nara ko faransa ve ma response to then nara ka safero ke to National Sport Council because it's the omnibus body but the target mo munito wala GFF ni nara ka jibe nyim banko kan jang ni ali be dunia ko no buba footballo ka funding ke jamale mako ke yiri wandi but ke la banko ni la komol fana yiri wandi let's say for example hande la kilin na jibe nga yankuba minte jibe 2 years ago anim bi yankuba minte la live benyami nga Musa Baro nyol jibe so footballo sembintu ya kaje ko na funding kel mu yalan ko ye nyatilim footballo la ela nyatilim ji ay yiriwa akumada bakel na la ka jibe ko accusation ka kele wala tumarol ka kele mumbe dending ka ko GFF kata nyami e ko kata ku la project ko mol ke ko so mu yalan ko be interesting football la bundal nara ka safero ke ka fo ko football mu kuler mu yalan ko akumaya dale nyim banko ka ni yiru wala fakata nyato surtout funding ke la ma fangola so nyanda ko fana investigate and the fifth one wala safero ke to galga wala association of local government authorities in the Gambia and fortunately and unfortunately, will they respond?
Which one? Fortunate or unfortunate?
Both. It's a good thing they responded quickly, to our petition, and also they raise concern that we acknowledge that they are not an oversight authority. We will agree that probably we could have redirected Commission letter to Ministry of Local Government, or local the Local Government Service Commission.
You agreed that you made a mistake.
So I will clear that. I don't think it's in fact a mistake, because it was going to be a mistake if they tell us.
You agreed.
No. So no, as a keno. But why I'm saying that, no, because I will come to that. You see, Galgas write a statement, and they did not know that it was statement of Italy from contradictory for Parita.
How?
I will have to read the statement. I will have to read the statement for you, so that we are clear first on what route I'm taking, right? When I read this statement, that's why I did not make a comment. I saw people dragging GALA. That is very obvious. And then if you have a mistake, GALA is not Robert. We are not Angel Jibril.
Yeah, but that's why you should acknowledge
no, what I'm saying is, I said, probably, we could have done this, but when I read the report, or the letter, let's see what Galga wrote under their oversight, because for Galga, they can take people to court. What we said, Galga should join the fight for transparency and accountability, and support legal bodies. Let's say we said collaborate with audit report. Buba, collaborate with audit report. You claim to be, they said they don't have an oversight authority, then they should change their name. They should not be Association of Gambia Local Government Authority. Authority has a legitimacy, and that legitimacy is supposed to be defined.
The name doesn't define what the institution do.
But that's what I'm telling you. If they say an association, we could understand. But if wherever authority comes, authority is exercised.
But Saibo, atol nyandal lonale ko Galga is not a body me along ko. You know, it's a corruption or fight no. Like for example, if Galga, and then that's the Jumal Lebiji. And then that's why I will come. Have you read the report? Have you read the report? Just let me come. Even a report Galga. Mil bije walem council sold, isn't it?
Exactly.
Alba fokan na nying council sold corruption of the world. Fonde. So how can they investigate councils me alongo corruption of the world? It will form a wale kono. How are they going to do that?
Buba, accountability is external, but accountability is internal. I should be able to.
So can you investigate yourself like
no? And then that's what I'm coming to. And then that's why I said
own corruption is investigation.
Our language, and that's why I said I will acknowledge our mistakes.
Exactly.
Maybe on the language of the letter, but there is nothing wrong with addressing a letter of accountability and transparency to Galga. This is Galga's report, right? Established in on September 3rd, 2022, the association gained its legal status September 7. Galga served as a vital platform for promoting cooperation, accountability, and transparency among local government councils.
Among local government councils.
Yes. Now you're telling me that it's wrong to address a letter to you and say your local government councils, your government local council that made up that association need accountability and transparency in their local government councils, take action. And you're telling me you don't have that authority, but now you're reminding us, because when we say accountability and transparency, what we said, like one of the talking point, let's say probably where we said investigate, right? That one point, that's just one point there. We have a mistake there. Maybe the investigation is not the most appropriate word, but collaborate with audit report. It's just like today, let's say for example, UTG-SU. Let's say for the UTG-SU is the umbrella body that fight the welfare of the students, but may not have a disciplinary action authority over students. But let's say today a student is accused of rape or malpractice in the university. The SU should be able to help the management and the disciplinary committee in ensuring that transparency and accountability hold on.
It's completely different.
No.
The thing is,
Buba, let me land.
No, you've already landed.
No, I've not landed.
Okay,
I'm reading what Galga said. I repeat.
Okay.
Maybe the language and the point we said Galga can investigate alongside, we have it that wrong. But Galga as a body, because this council is what comprises of Galga. All right? So Galga should have, as an association, should protect the integrity of the individual members of the council by ensuring that they advise, but also support accountability mechanisms in councils, right? And then that's why when they say they have no oversight authority, or regulatory body. We accept. But now, how is their intention of the accountability and the transparency they talk about among council members? How do they do that if they don't have an authority? Because you're telling me you don't have a regulatory body. Now you're telling me you have an accountability and transparency role to play. Conflict in that statement.
There is a local government service commission.
So I agree. I will come to that. I will agree, Buba, that part of our language may not be appropriate. But absolutely saying, addressing that letter to GALGA is not appropriate is misleading. Because GALGA is, part of their priorities is accountability.
Why can't you just say, oh yes, that was a mistake, then we accept and we move on?
Listen, I don't dodge accountability.
But you accept that there was a mistake.
I said
already.
the language, part
but
of it.
In fact, the thing is, of course, Omar, the thing is, local government council sol bita kan science and intending. Now, if you write to them, let's say you write to them, you go and investigate corruption. There is already an ongoing commission. Now, how do you expect them? For example, let's say you are local government service commission or you've written to the government. There is already a commission. So, with all the people that you have, detect this is a mistake because there is already a commission that is ongoing.
So, Buba, have you read the petition to the GALA?
Of course I did.
Exactly. Have you seen the portion that talks about we acknowledge that there is a local government council going on?
Yes,
However,
I've seen.
Right. So what we are trying. That's what I'm trying to say. These are so that's the thing. The council is going on. But there is nothing wrong. What we cannot happen is to conclusively hold people accountable, but we can send caution messages. And that's one of the reasons why we send that letter.
You're telling them to investigate.
No, that's what so I think I acknowledge that part. That the breakpoint one on our petition must be a language and wording problem of saying investigate. But the intention is not to ask those people to investigate. We're human. We acknowledge that mistake. But I'm saying all other points, GALGA saying only that they are an accountability and transparency body as part of their mandate among themselves. All the other black points we put in that petition should their because today GALGA as an association should be able to have the audit report to ensure that councils cooperate among themselves and give evidence that will investigate audit reports. They should be able to be ready to ensure that let's say for example GALGA should have played a role. I don't know if they do when Ahmed Bensouda and then KMC had an issue with Senabu Martin and then the government. GALGA could have played a non-status role, a non-regulatory role in that to ensure if Talib was right, they defend Talib to the core, accountability and transparency. But if Talib is wrong, they should be able to also advise Talib on the basis of the fact that they are an umbrella body that promote the welfare of the local government councils, including accountability and transparency. And that's why if I was going to respond to GALGA, I was going to ask them how is their mandate on accountability and transparency look like? Because if you are telling me we are writing to you as the wrong authority, but part of that letter you are telling us okay. And then for us, GALA, after all what we ask for is accountability and transparency, and there is no one way to do that. So GALA is not absolutely the wrong place to take the letter, but probably the languaging.
No.
And then the investigation part of it, we acknowledge that's a mistake.
There's a mistake that you are telling them to investigate. You agreed with that?
Yes.
And I think, in fact, the later, personally, I think the later Nyantaranondami is the Local Government Service Commission or maybe the line ministry because Nil can investigate. Even this commission, it's not GALGA. Commission of Bata is Masakunda. So that's what I'm saying.
I want to clear this. I want to clear this. And then that is why. Let me just clear one thing.
Just say there was a mistake.
There was a mistake. I want to clear one thing. Let me just clear this thing. And then also, that corroborate that we know that we have a local government service commission. We know that we have a Ministry of Local Government. You know why we went to GALGA? The purpose is, and I repeat, saying they should investigate is a mistake. But the purpose is for them to have an indoor discussion and tell things, because if the report is out after the commission, I know I cannot take that report to GALGA to act on. I will take it to the ministry, the service commission, or the office of the president. I know that. So that's why I said the purpose of that letter is not to investigate. If that is there, GALA is not an angel association. GALGA, come Buba, come any other person, and we are bound to make mistakes, regardless of how many heads are there. Government makes mistakes with all of the excuses.
It's good that you agree that you have done. So what are you going to do with that now? What are you going to do with that?
So the issue of the local government councils, we do not want to take a certain step until the commission is done. And that is why I repeat, if you read our petition, the intention is a cautious one, to caution and to say, okay, the association, because at that association is where Yankuba sits, is where Talib sits, is where Rohi Malik Lo sits, is where Mohammed Inbase sits. So if we send them a letter and say, look, accusations are coming from your councils, without coming out to completely just look at the investigative part and say we do not have a regulatory mandate, they could have also sit over it if they are serious about accountability within themselves. That's the point. And then moving forward, we wait for the commission to finish, because in the first place, that's our no, and then that's what we are doing. But while the commission is going on, there is nothing wrong with cautioning people. Then it's just like if you say now, when Rohi Malik Lo went to the commission, or when Yankuba goes to the commission, or when Saibo goes to the commission and says something, nobody should go on Facebook and question it. We should wait. No comments should be made on the commission until the commission is back. Commissions don't run like that. People will have their own say, and also sending alerts. And being cautioning people doesn't mean investigating them. Of course, the investigative part of it, I wish I could have deleted that part of the petition. It's absolutely a mistake. Acknowledge, take responsibility, and we're moving.
Okay. So saying the other mistake that you did is the acute injury. The matter is before the court, ale petition or survey, and you already know who nim fengo be kiti dula. You know, abuka discuss now. Why did you do that? That's another mistake.
So there are two ways to accountability, Buba. There are recommendations that not need to wait for the court validation to be implemented. Right?
With recommendations.
Let's say, for example, the recommendation to regulate the Pharmacies Act. Right? And regulatory of importation of medicine in this country.
But remember, you are telling these people to investigate this and do something about it.
No, we don't say the investigation is done. We are asking them to implement.
So there is already a court case ongoing.
No,
you cannot implement.
So Buba, no. I know. I don't know. I'm not a legal person. But what I'm saying is, we are not challenging the legality in the court. What is in court? What we are asking for is the implementation of what can happen civilly outside court. So
what do you think they can implement within the days that you gave them? Because you gave a certain number of days.
So let's say, for example, people responsible, we are supposed to be punished or held accountable. That did not happen. Two.
The courts can do that.
No, listen. The court is not the court that can say that the minister was wrong and the minister need to be fired. Not the court.
No, what I'm saying is...
Buba,
just let me come.
Buba, listen.
For example, victim soul co. We, my young entire court. The court is ongoing.
That's what I'm saying. About
decide whether someone should be punished or not. Whether they will be compensated or not.
No.
So what do you like?
So the thing is, the court, the victims went to court in the first place because the political will from the government was Nunji. We should have not get to the court.
Yes.
You understand? Court manyana kanana. But saying the victim will tada court. Ye case ni sama court kaje ko mansa kunda law ya je ko justice ye serve, right? Outside court civilly, people should be able to still engage the government. Kaje ko you implement, because you understand the court will not say that okay, we give a valid for the government to revise the Pharmacies Act or drugstore implementers act or whatsoever the act is called. The court will not give that verdict, right? The court will give the verdict that the victims have a right for justice, and justice is supposed to be served. You understand? So I don't think us writing to the office of the president for implementation have anything to do with the court case, right? So I understand that, and then also you need to understand, is that case a civil case or a criminal case? It's a civil case. It's criminal cases that people don't have a take on if they are going to court.
No, this is not a take. This is about you telling them to do something that is before the court.
So that's what I'm saying. It's before the court, but it's not. The lawyers will listen to me, and the lawyers can help me with this. I will stand to be corrected. But it's a criminal court. It's a criminal case that people should stay off with, regardless. But a civil wait.
I'm not even so. I'm not also a lawyer. But what I'm saying this is a different thing.
So let me learn.
You are talking about like if the court, the case is before the court, Moma nyanaka diama ko la fana banta, right?
No, that is if the case is a criminal case.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Right?
I'm not a lawyer, I'm not sure of that. But what I'm saying is now you are telling these people to do something about it, something that is before the courts. Is different from talking about the case. You understand?
Exactly.
It's completely different.
So let me help you, Buba. It's a civil case. It's not a criminal case. Today, if we succeeded in the government implementing, we save the victims time and energy of going to the court. They can easily withdraw the case.
You want them to withdraw?
No, I'm not. Listen to me, Buba.
Okay, okay. You can repeat
if the matters they have taken to court, and then now GALA have succeeded in having government settle them out of court, we have saved them the energy, Buba.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. I think once government engaged and it was not successful, you know, there is a ADR. There's ADR.
So I'm also telling you that the matter is going to court. You people it's a civil matter. That's why Human Rights Commission could put in their report that they still recommend that the government engage the victims. I don't know if you have read that report. So that's what I'm telling you. There is nothing wrong with us writing the petition about that case, even though the case is going to court. Exactly.
You know, there is ADR. Damia Lonko, like na lafta alsitano alek kacha alsibeng. Nimba nyina government yenyil engage lenung about this, and it was not successful. So court case nimbe continue kang. Like, I don't think they can do anything about this before court case nimbe banda.
No.
That's what I don't think.
No. I don't think that is accurate, Buba.
They can about this case that is ongoing. I mean, I don't think they can do anything. So
I have been following the AKI stuff. In fact, I was one of the activists that led it from the beginning before I left for my studies, right? But in Tada, I lose touches at some point because of studies and all of that. I don't exactly know what the court case is exactly based on right now, whether it's a general recommendation or just that they took the court. Also, we need to differentiate that it had a court level because in the Bantaba, like already they went to court based on the recommendations of the investigation report. You understand? If they have just been to court because ila dimul bantale imam femmo imam fenje, okay, that's a separate thing. But neither itara court le ila kota sunta muna wala inside recommendational bondi dale why man sakunda ye bank or recommendational
why did you find out that before you wrote that petition? Buba, listen. You don't know cases like general Buba alia long exactly you tata court so that you're able to know.
We know they're going to court, but even if they're going to court,
but you don't know exactly.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a civil case regardless.
Yes.
And a civil case is not like a criminal case where you say it's at court we cannot say anything. Just like, let's say for example, if it is a rape case.
No, it's not about saying something, but what will come out of what you said.
That's what I'm saying.
About this petition.
I think we need to conclude this. Yeah. That I stand on the ground of our position that there is nothing wrong with having to petition the government about that. If the implementations, now the government listen to us and implement.
I'm telling you something is wrong.
No, there is nothing wrong with that.
There is something
no, there's nothing. I can go anywhere with anybody legally, morally. There is nothing wrong with that. Unless if the case is a criminal case, which is not.
So did you get any reply from them?
No, we don't get any reply. We don't get any reply from government.
Okay. Alid, how many days did you learn?
90 days.
90 days. So woman see for. So apart from GALGA, there is no other institution Mial
Jabi follow.
Mial Jabi follow.
Yeah, institution Mamul Jabi follow.
Institution Mal Jabi follow. All right. So I think it's important to clear this because a lot of people are talking about it too. Now, Allah Treasurer Safia left. And then people don't know why. According to sources, about Fokale logo Almanya na protest because album permit osoro. But then you people did not agree. What exactly munem problem what Alnin Safia to them?
Buba, I have promised not to talk about Safia on TV. I think Mohammed Ika have responded to her yesterday.
Yeah, no, here is the Grand Bantaba, so we want you to
I don't want to talk about it.
No,
Matonye.
Transparency.
Yeah. Transparency, exactly, yeah.
So Buba, first, to clear, like I think I made that here that I am not even part of the person that came with the idea for GALA, right? Muhammad Len called. For the fact that I joke and tell people in this country I should become a protest consultant, right? So Mohammed Len call and say he has this idea I Pedro created, and then obviously, and this is how he said, obviously Saibo, you have to join us, right? I said, look, and I was joking, I said, I had those jokes. And we had this meeting on Monday. Not meeting, right? And the only position designated at that time was, okay, Saibo, you talk to the media because you have been on today's, and then, A and B and C. So it is the media. Be the spokesperson. Aside from Saibo, you face the media. You be the spokesperson. Momafo Talibo Munineti, Buba Munineti, Olamin Munineti. Monday passed by. We sent our nana permito request. Talata dungo, arabalungo, na press conference ke. But before press conference watu, someone dan tell them all nga meeting okay lenung. You understand? So bring a meeting okay. Kurang ye Sophia Nat Nanji. I think Sophia was added in the group first, if my mind can serve me well.
WhatsApp group.
In the WhatsApp group, I think on a Tuesday. Come that Sophia Nana, because never Sophia long. Sophia Juve, Nene Maje, Nene Naman Diam, Fonkala Sophia on your Facebook. I don't know who the kind of person he is. So Briake, so long come normally in our tradition thing coming hand intel sign them ninga ka follow jamba from muso ke tres already. Trust women kan la muso le ko di ko I understand. So Briake na I think kurang le fon ya suggest ko na Sophia ke because people started calling because when we create a group bring a group okay mo nekeda mo le fin the group na ko how do we support? People start suggesting that you want to send their 10 euros, their 5 euros. And then, and then go say, okay, Sophia Dulu Musorin Kono, then take a wave number, put your wave number there. And Niajibe will conflict no. Niajibe 2 wave number left in I had to come out, Kafindi and Kada WhatsApp group to clear because there are few people who agree, they don't money along. They don't even agree to that. But look, let's let it go. We have a day or so to the protest. And now we have already been profiled by the state, for example, right? And we cannot do anything. We cannot go back. Let's do this. But that happened. We did the press conference. I was at iAfrica TV. iAfrica TV. When I received an alert that there was a riot pickup that was coming, I left. And I decided that, okay, they may come after us. I called Mohammed. I called Get Up. And I said, at least, even if it's going to be only 3 of us to submit the petition tomorrow, let's go and sleep in Banjul. We went to Banjul. We were entering in Banjul. It was almost 12. So we went to Gala's house. So mbijele mfindi kata ndalaka fene nyine fo maka so lem fo munembang. We were 300 away from the state house. Profile. All the President Barrow, IG, CDS, all the security, okay, Saibo, Mohammed are going to protest. But we came back to the house on my connection and it's Sophie Juve telling us, did not say we don't have a permit. Let's cancel. She said, I think we should cancel this protest and engage the police. I was typing. I would have been calm. I was tapping until Mohammed Kuranko, I think we should agree within seconds. And my heart pumped in that this was a discussion behind the door and they cannot throw us under the bus. This is what I said. Nal nyamata. Fale mojikin di bantako albenyim protest by la wala kana jang 1 AM to the protest that come from the protest by al grupo bulaleta.
You responded
yes, that's exactly how I responded. I still have the audio. I would call it I remember Mohammed saying they want to sacrifice his life or something. Ika, yes. Okay. Right? That are life level at stake. We stopped them because Mamadi Kuran came on Monday. He came on Tuesday. He came on Wednesday until 6 hours, 7 hours to protest nearby. So we received intel that Sophia Juve was talking to people close to the corridor of power and tell them, man, my guy maybe, and I will be able to convince them to stop the protest. Probably that's why I said, Sophia Juve should have done a background check. I said it in that group, that he should have done a background check of who some of us are before coming to drop that garbage there. This is how I said it exactly.
In a group where Sophia Juve
yes. And collaboratively, there is this guy, when I was in the cells, he came there, he said he was a negotiator, I don't know his name, Haji or something. He came to negotiate when I was in the cells, especially when I said I wasn't going to leave, right? He came there to say he went to State House. I never knew him before. Nenemaje Dulato, Malong, another jailer is Dr. Haji or something, Akonyoko, they were the one doing negotiation. But we came to realize that bring Sophie Jufi, okay, that guy wrote something on his Facebook saying we are talking to GALA people and we are negotiating so that the protest to go off. Bro, if we are part of GALA, what we are going to think? That they are throwing us under the bus. So, but at that time, the price was the streets, the petition to be delivered, and accountability to happen. We don't care, and then we move forward. Ndarangalla. Faroke, we said we should be there earlier for surveillance and all of that. Mobe nana, Sophie Jufi manna. She was nowhere to be found. In fact, we were supposed to print, right? We were supposed to do a lot.
Quran was there.
No, Quran was there.
Yes, yes.
We're talking about now the treasurer.
The treasurer, yeah.
Right? Was nowhere to be found. And that was not, I'm someone that you know for I'm telling you 9, 10. That whoever was serious about that protest should have been there by 6. We don't have a problem with that. Most of the Juvje, until when they started charging me to enter the cells, I wrote on my Facebook that nobody should come to the police station. They should continue the protest. So ngari las ko prisoner bentelebulu. Mbortan finta bantu do ka prisoner di media house la pour ya samba na Sophie Jufi. O tamulo nga Sophie nga prisoner di ala nga delo war si ground bi ngeen continue. Like Mohammed said yesterday, nobody have any intention to Sophie arrest. I would have not want Sophie to be arrested. But also among everyone, even those who were not part of the co were arrested. Where was Sophie Jufi in the whole of that scene? The first badge was arrested, she was home sleeping. The second badge was arrested, she was on the ground, but not arrested. What was her role there? She was keeping the money behind the arch, so that she wait for us to go to the cells and now she can buy water for us and bring it. So yeah, that's where the ideas. But we still continue. Post-protest meeting. At my house again. We were trying to, what went wrong, we are trying to look at each other now because this is the first time we came together as a group. Now we need to assess. There is that internal assessment, post-mortem, both individually and the protest. So mbo kachala, galas ko ay concern soto. Munila concern na mo ko Sophie Jufi was in contact with Momodou Sabally during the protest, and was one of the reasons why I will promise ko a protest by the mall block.
I will have Momodou Sabally.
Echo. I cannot validate that.
Okay.
So now, when let's say for example, ko Omar, nga mo ko ning Dr. Sisebe diamu kanenung protest day. No, nin Dr. Sisebe man diamu. Alkana kaulan. Ndete ta wokela, nin Dr. Sisebe diamu. But otherwise, Omar, alman lantela. She got up. Ako she resigned.
It was during a meeting.
During a meeting, Galas just finished. We don't even ask Sophie Jufi yet to clear the air, which is very normal. Look, we were born out of accountability. It starts in within. Sophie Jufi may la moy fa mo la ñi nga Sophie Jufi mu nekk da de. Sophie Jufi tira janjanta. It has never happened. I'm religious. Nobody have ever doubted me. Kaguri sate be. But I realized at some point, with all of these differences, she was listening to me. Nga kumanti. Nga ko Sophie Jufi ko ñiko na. Nga ko galas lu wax dega la du dega. Si ne ko dega, simply tell us du dega, and then that's it, and convince us that you cannot do that. But already you, a night before the protest, you cancel protest. Legi, this allegation comes in. There is in evidence collection, we could say there is a collaborative evidence building and connection. So a konyo kala fakala mo walo charge. At first, bravo wuro be kaka mafu mo go holle so mo walbi de. Holle so mo walbi de. Na when last did I talk to Sabally? Fo konyo kala fakala mo walo charge le. Al mo walo be block in na bunkono. Biro ko be kada bring a calm the domain go now. Just listen, you don't have to resign like that. Even you're going to resign, I'm not going to stop you from resigning. But A, B, and C, muna mane ana wanak be. Nga go munsi be. Atara ni mo walo fin and sign. Calling hold when do I still like? I am a tech guy. Today, it ain't the text muna be. I don't need to delete from all. I can just delete from me. And then the conversation is dead. And nobody knows about it. Nga go Sophie Jufi. Man mako ko wa. Ndar ga fa nga Sophie Jufi. Mobile B, si biir la nekkoon. Yow léegi nga jógee si biir. You could have deleted the text messages. So this is what happens. Bala ñoo génn before nga boni fenko na tondi meeting dura media yata. of course, at that time, GALA was the darling and the sweetie of this country. So even if they tell you GALA, bottle B is from GALA, this bottle goes famous, the media take it. And then for up till today, that you have to do this to me, I never want to talk about this Soweto issue, because at the end of the day, for me, it's not the person, it's the movement. And then the same thing I say to all of the individuals in the movement whose individual back will haunt us. I said, GALA is not a political party. It's not a government where you hire and fire. It's a movement on the street that anybody whose alignment matches is can join. And this is what happens. Other than this, until Soweto Diouf have another story.
Yeah, so
nothing.
Not of time, but naturally a story, Sarah.
Not
but man couldn't find the last protest. What happened?
Well, so I can jackal in sometimes.
Falling kurang kuyara.
Makalimuta. All what I know, that post meeting kurang manaje. And in the post meeting we decided now, I think we need to set up an interim committees moving forward, because now people are demanding that GALA move from a moment to a movement, right? So we did that. So I will say maybe Mamadi Kurang was focusing on his court case, and then he has a silence exit. But Mamadi Kurang have problem with nobody. Mamadi Kurang have exchange with nobody. He was not at the post-protest meeting, so say Mamadi Kurang resigned or something. It was a silence exit. And then we appreciate it, just like today, I can go and sleep in my room, and tomorrow GALA say protest. I say, look, I think I'm tired, I think I'm old, I think I am sued to the court, I'm thinking about that, I don't want to protest.
Okay, so saying before me na Molia, be careful, be anti-GALA mole bija. So Abdurrahim thinks your association will die a natural death anyway.
But ala moli en kachayla forum also the model or intelligence.
I had that. I gotta know.
Okay.
Normally people have opinions, right?
Yeah.
And everybody, like I said,
no, you come to that. So
yeah.
Allah toning as well. I ngajela le fly abondi ko Allah takara tola. The to is about what?
Civil engagement is just community engagement, just like any other civil society movement will do. Because, like, okay, so critics will say protest is not the only solution, taking the street on. Now we want to do civil education, right? La fakata ni mole beng ni diamu anu na takmu manke ndel manke politician on.
Yeah, people are accusing you already. Ngwe kamela.
Yalong buba. Nte mu harama sifa munde ay ya yelente ning gala tambita I don't think mo buga ko diamu come on social media. If you go to my feed from the last day I did my message and thank the Gambian people for the protest, I will not discuss it, because nte mu harama dingu munte, I am not immune to accountability, and whatever association be munkono will not be immune to accountability. Constructive, non-constructive, Gambians will have something to say, and Gambian will be Gambia dingo Gambia din yalong asi GALA jibe no le aya fo GALA be munke ka bedatale asi GALA jibe no le aya fo GALA be munke ka mambedia se awtuda GALA la doko le ka doko ke etel lota mun kama. You understand? Because ning fact check center bita tola e ma kumandi a political party, because ngata mun na woleng ka nim banku dingo le diamu about this information, misinformation, which every day we fact check the government. For example, ning Gambia participate organization go to civil education. There is nothing wrong with a political but non-partisan movement like GALA kata puraning banku dumule kacha. Until manke politician.
So you are not going for politics. But I'm
not looking for political position.
So exactly what are you going to tell people that time?
So one of the fights, this is not just a common street, even scholars have extensive reading about it, that to fight corruption is two forms. Top, bottom, like the protests and old Memunke Gansai, and bottom top, for people to be aware of the dangers banturo mialonko corruption na kananang. And in kaje ko fananko, banko dingul ya faham ko, nyim banko manke fukare banko ti. Mam fuharea na flow wale mam maraku within 1995.
So you need a permit for this. Ali apply le.
Permit for what?
To go for a nationwide tour.
No, you don't need a permit. I've never seek for. Okay, I don't know, but I've never seek for a permit. I've done nationwide tours, including caravans in this country.
I think you need. I'm not sure. Anyway,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
it's fine.
Out of experience, I work in the civil society. I've done number of tours in this country, including public caravans. I've never seen for a permit.
I remember there was a UDP tour in
That's
Yeah.
a political party.
So political parties, but
They are
like
going
groups
for-
like GALA, you don't need a permit?
No.
You think
You're
so?
going for a civic engagement. I don't need a permit to go and then engage in civil participation. Those people are going for political rallies, and then one of the reasons to seek for a permit is for protection, right? It's different from a civic education that a normal civil organization can do. So we don't need a permit.
Well, I'm not sure of your group, but I know political parties need. Because
Yeah.
I remember
So that's what I'm
there was a
saying.
time,
So unless it's GALA and it's needed, but I've done.
So
caravans.
alwa ko do bolam dole pour ka karatola.
Well, GALA have been surviving on crowdfunding.
Ale jele soro.
From the first protest, for the first time, Buba, Gambino $5 holding, $10 holding, $25 holding send wave, and then we rose up to 400 and something thousand. I don't know.
400 and something thousand. Ale ko do soro le.
Of course, and then out of that, the last protest we used over 60,000. I think we have a balance of almost 300 and above 50,000 laid down there. And that's how we survive. It's crowdfunding. Even President Barrow can send it. Even President Barrow can as if we've seen normally have more call dogo munke kan abeda anyin lafaje ni munta fonta anum ba muta because GALA dingol letad. And then GALA coming kamun for rek manke politician anun tel man sakunda kong mang President Barrow kong wala mang Usenu Dabo kong ntel nga mun kong wala tajirente yati corruption and injustice. Anong bangko ding. Ni dala bangko ding ya bambanda. Enyanda ko wol konne.
Okay. All right, I'll get back to you. Abdurrahim, bunem bitela reaction oti GALA from their first, the second protest and then their petitions.
Yeah, starting with the first protest, mbe Umar Jaila mbatentula because nga Umar lo ne hani janning GALA be start la. Anu niaje nga episode dole soto nunjang that was just immediately after the first protest but watara fana within that period I fenkele interview no Bob Keita you understand so tell statement was in relation to people like Bob Keita ngoni o mo sifal be GALA to GALA be falale wolon tela kuma county and ni be public
you said GALA will die natural death. Omar Labi.
No.
Why can't you just repeat that GALA will die natural death?
Ngana kasi Umar wonte ni be public kacha.
Bob Keita is not a executive member of GALA.
But Bob nyada be nun GALA.
Yes, but he's
first protest he was there. It only beje. Bob was there 100%. Ngamin for wolong if people like Bob were in GALA, konsa GALA ke suma walla, GALA will die a natural death. You understand? But that being said, ntina janga see media toka GALA la success fan downplay, especially the second protest.
Okay.
That's the hard fact because they mean critic wolong. It eta President Baroya wo $10,000 deal. Amanda wala passport diplomatic pass deal. Ite manyan na finti like you are protesting against that person. Ite ma integrity soto. And secondly, nga Umar la moy bakele. Aka nga galas fanan na safero jele. For Galas told mu council di Banjul. There are a lot of people that are questioning him ko ate famula own council abe corruption okono ngaro hi malik lo lam moyle brasata commission nyin kono biriba question with regard to that 30 million 3,000 dustbin for almost 30 million ngawjele so ngamol moy ba ako ate ni o commission o pareta and ajeko yemin find out is wrong ate he's going to take an action. Either he will resign or I think okay, understand? So I think, there is a conflict. Because either you are in that council, corruption obije, but they found their own corrupt practices investigate. Well, things like that, new old tata to the open. They should be at a low profile. Manke ko kasila Umar la janne be kachar jamu Bantaba.
At least that happened before Galas Bina.
Yeah, for the second protest, GALA have achieved a lot. Ye mune achieve one-on-one. Even if the government did not reply back, and I'm sure ale petition mimbe safe dolbe alte reply sotola. But secondly, if you look at the international attention in it, the international media, you understand? Me protest in capture. That alone to me was in fact the most successful, that is the greatest success you register, in that protest. Anu nga molla moyle fana be society be sate balu me brikama you understand iko bring Umar diamuta yala tele be petitionol ñing fen ko rit kanu ning police ole be siri ako nyoka la im boy ndingo is very vocal you understand yalo nen kay ko ha ngalo ne bari kaka kam faale fana you understand for crowd ñin nombam because at certain inside kaje ni molbe ñoo sabala you understand no you understand so be jail
now Omar is a leader at that time
yes.
so he need to
so
be strong
amanke ko like kamin kata mole be brikama be groupe ñinto anata entara doku da nabe doko la dula kile ko nya hey lam na mol be makanne e ko e fenke yalo ni moye kumo fo la ne bu ko rose you know to be conclusive nte mo fonding kelti ñi manya na tambira ka kelo kente nin kele ko lon pour kam fango bo ñi banko kan ka corruption o kele anin kol mi yalon ka mantar ta kan ku ni Umar be bulu balante nyana tarla marala yona sadam se but
why didn't you protest then you were not there
I'm not used to protest
you were not
nte protest ko fo nene manda and secondly so ganare
okay,
secondly also iba jubelan you know ntebe position o minto you know because aje Canadian I took the risk Canadian ka political because political nga likely natural man fa understand wala nan ka appear jam you know so wala bije dala konza laftale woto e koy ko made down play but ngam min fo you understand listening to Bob Keita you understand Bob should not question President Barrow yes Bob should have been the last person you know to question President Barrow on anything you know ite funding ke ka finti muneketa ni kolti ya ni kolbe diaring dia ka kele bari ni tata kolti nya re la fika finti ka foko ha Barrow dunta janna finti ta janna ite man dawola ina kala telephone conversation o fango fenke that is very wrong and you are even quoting somebody from another country geopolitics you understand nyenno be ante I was arguing based on that amanke consider ta Umar dam bo nyinno na kumot
bismillah Talibo go ahead
yeah I think barbake buwa ngandala luntamba kunto Saibo ngamra nanana benta lun janne na kachata from there ngalon ka fuko ndiwlam na fama do ko kele very well when the father was a deputy governor APRC time so after the nata lonko malan Saibo dimmalam so kabrin gala na rangaje oto fanam akachal ka kijang nge kuman le nga fo en ko en tinala je pour ka gala la pour kacha because ni membe benaje wo be kala ndiwlati andu malla fi nayata nyu saba because na fa ma ku jamaala no nyu so harma dum ko mo akola bakala so bi ki dawla kana na panelisol mo jamaati ja so na programme mo sitinya no na tar manna
yow to nyalti
yo ba on na jang si opportunity soto no ni Omar Saibo si kacha bari dunia fa afaja ko amanke malaikoti woto mo fanante malaikoti Gambia ni mo si mistake ite si mistake mo do fanan si mistake le so be kachara tende fo nga ben kayro kono ila protest follow iko mam pometo soto findita nte ila protest man diaji because munomu itel mo dantan no ye fan kumande gala bari molle binala meni ya lonko ibinala jumbo kala je sa traité mo jumbo ni wo koñi ima diman bar bawo isan opunting mo dolle binala be kudol kala je mi ya lonko ate nyinyala asi keno wala tan di polisol fan buka tariala e ka study ke e buka tariala pamito dila bari ndata bedulal dol ton ko polisol nyanta pamito dilelale because munamu asi keno ni mam pamito dila eniye pamito dila ida mala be fundila bar ni mam pamito dila modo bije wo mu kam fa molati wo si mansa kunda totinya si polisol totinya wol be juruma la jele ibe relevant ndilal ke kumayande ngoy nyanta dilel I talked to many authorities many along ko isinda ko momoy second one inara pamito dila ko correct let us observe these people munebe kelela blanindo we have insiders many along control fanana mollo mu itata je pour kata ka protest ni ka cross mo dol bi je wol tata comme kata je kumpa bo balia pour ka je ko wol si kenyala bara on yitel la agenda manke kilindi ka foko be kisikisiro la keka ila protest fulanjaw nde ka foko ibe mol nyini kala kisikisiro la wala kule sene ya o manke ndebala tanati but the nature of the protest o protest lum ngam men jije ngalon ko fana mambeteya ay loi tiñal kete jele mi yalon ko ay molla abuse jurunde a protest fana ngaje ka fo ko celebrity siyata jele ngaje fana ka fo ko journaliste le siyata protestos
journaliste siyata
nata je fana ko na korosiro to na jero to ngaje suñar lal fana bal kono sun bal kono nata je fana ko media mol bal la ko kono le nata je fana ko yanda mol bal la ko kono le ka musico ta seto ka dengala ka tulung comme fural lebe kera ya understand dol bi dala supermarket ol kono dol bi dala restaurant ol to be siring be kinol domola
ñankata nene freda ñol
dol ye fonko tablal lo ni ba fule fay e be dañanta jilale dol ba fule fay ko malon ñankata on dañanta jilale ma no dañanta jilale ñimbe nata foko mol ñini kono nataje mol fanan kallo ka innocent people many along ka
dol ko president Barrow should step down
dol ko president Barrow should step down so nataje mol kamoto tiol bare many along ko be la balu
ye jawla fanan jawla haras ba
yes businessman olu fanan ni wol mela do ko wol keno a nyama andun do ala luwa landi damen do fana ya tata min di jella so ngo gala la nyinde abina kala landa tamboti so nata menje wolom nyindi ko bi ay kuma kan mem fo jang o fana solon do la ko oto gala mu Bukar Sidi lati pour ka man sakunda nyopoti wala ka man sakunda la dinkiral nyopoti bari dalilo tebulu isi nyinko wol solf non nyame comme yedol de dante ay jang ko mem ya bla bita kan kitola il faut alon ko nyibita kan kitola du loya fa nyanda la kitol wo amanjare wo la fon ite mo jama fintindi wo kama isi ku keno al si press conference keno ale si ale kacha ale mol kachande nyin ku karde nyine be kering abita kan kitola de bare man sakunda sa try ya kata ko e nyin blanc the message will go and mol bal nako al bo ko leto bari ni yaje ni jama kumandi fofendin do so men dara je ya bute je amanya na bute la nyanda di la police la o mul wanta yalati hanne atre ko ay sunyaro lake nyanda amuta le ya muta yasika ya di police la kana lipa iman nyanda lipa ya fadu so protest ni asi fitno wulindi banko kan dalila jomale ka wala nyindi ko nemo fa fana na badu no bije afana ye de ma do buntang ndebe damen tele nga kayro sabado woto bel silin sere kunda don debo kanam protest la MPP yen nyen sen atindi mol wulta kama ntele koy ko amanjere ñi malon gala fon be mem fokan nasunku din doje after the program do ya ñini nga ka ite tata fananta protest la ñaaye ji la ko nte fam mambo fankalama fenke Ibsin ako Ibsin le ente call rek ko ngata wespi yaji so after being bota wespi ina tata tambin data dum bichot so ngaji fenka ko gala they are noise makers interest jamale biji we da telephone ya lombam fal malomban interest jamale biji politician ol men fanan korta rally kele fay pour que da sawo fu man sa kunday wol fana nata churumpem fode yal kono yajele dol bije wol fon le kole ko le fankan imum macilalti walla mu fo fenenti yekko do soto itam bolde nie fo fenen soto war nga ta chill out Senegambia yela ko do be batara do moje say ka fu ko man sa kundala be kole anati kan woto nyanta corruption le fight la ita fam corruptale ita fam you are corrupt to yourself you mismanagement yekko do soto foy mun electricien foy munadi e ka kodo tay kata battre play casino to e kata battre play lalto o funding ke forestry principal wol fana mbal kunne dol fana ni ban do ko la wol fana ye den galal la wolon kata ka wuri ka suñaro ke je image suñaro ke je bar o be nte men jije wala min de Omar ndiw la muyti ko kundi ni ba kala bi ñim banko kanjang isi hakkilo to sama killing isi hakkilo to hakkoto membe bo kannam boso kono abinakan amantar sport amantar finance amantar state house amantar local government he is innocent in fact ala kodole betinya kan bara funtita bitakala hajo jarakan yola moto londi siloka dol bije wol road taxi ka jole taxi driver imaje fana complaint ko wolum ko la temale man dépense so do silata le man so la moto le funti because mo le daji ko jali kono men yalon ko isila dulal tiñanole businessman o dol man son tala la dulal to ali hakko la tawol ya hakko dum wobe allah taala la bulu bar meya tinande hakko wulita na bala hakko busala wo fanan kal lumen aka ke mantora balete ala kan e bula wol kono bari wolu ngafula jang e buba nene nol ben jele kan go isi nyinke no civil society tile ye mansa kundala dokulal ikare karandi on corruption wolu mala ka fo dole ko foytele be kala fanka to dum Mr. Bojang
Bojang
aka fo Mr. Bojang foytele be kala consultant bar ntenga mira fo wala nyinyata dina ka mol groupe ndi dula kili itete control nola bara satere ko police le trust dia tellela you cannot control everybody don ko wolum atel found son katale fa lafta kelala inside us ji MC Cham abe janni albe corruption o kele ka fana ndata jela ko mo dole nin tabla na ratini dala ka ko talibe is corrupt o adi minje okay sa ta fana ko baro is corrupt nin da fana bije abe dimin nale so bu ku sumnala abe na ke ka wolati al nyanta al system okay al ne man sakunda e kacha ani aji e kacha le mediation okay ko ale register AG chambers falbe tole falinda bam falbe nin to kinu ne sambala bam bar ntela yamaro mu menti wala mu nyinte aleta ale register as a legal one wala be sahaya la dina la nyin dom fananti because ni mo fata nyin blanto wallahi chole be siala drom bari bal mutalan because you are responsible for it.
Okay.
From court of ka fenne sanje bari yaje nal ka korosi man sakunda fanamba al samba kan hakili mayal imaje dol ba fule ko journaliste ol yalla ni muta international bari international mol fana ne credit di man sakunda la police la kaje ko ifin paral fond mantaje the police officers wolle tata je yal tete nal kalbe salle kali sali nal kalbe nyankata ne kal nyankata do nal kalbe fofendin kele kali yoke so yal muta hakili mala o hakili maya nyi al fana nyanda murla ye hakili maya dota dami yalon ko sinim to si falte kala billahi wolu mol toratale nko ikoyti tala boss yo taten mo beji dolbe bokanda university kuran dolbe motol kono dol bije wol bita kala business wala do bije wol wo bita kan american embassy la katala fendo kamaje so aka ke kulati mi alon ko aka kole ya bakele Saibo ngalo nim protest kala ye jama kumande jama fundita ka dol cumto hayndile ikaminda ka fo ko ite nyonte bari sum fa na fundita ni amuta mo jama la kanaji gambia say ñim bidon di nga fay nga tobol mo jama bina non bela mobile lola dol bije wol bake kanela TikTok asi daraja comme ni mo foni rew lebe ben
Okay.
ya lo ñoo ñakono ya lo alter ñakono fa benta fa man be ay ta social media imagine bi dale kumandroke iko journaliste le na decide ay funti wol be nata teng o be nata teng so wolle mo seta protestant
Jere sera okay thank you so much
so alje ko ñi ala revisit
so now you listen
na ko kilim wala koto na ko civic education mfaranda be fe woto civic education you are registered ini man sakunda be nyo kalama ibe ko ndi kam molma pour molsi because ni mu daji kolati ni corruption me alba fo kante daji kolom protesta ata ke nola o damanta ke nola alla option B nte lafta le menke wala ni dal ben ni menke kante ici seminar kumandi e government la permanent secretarial kumandi ale si blato kaja alga fo won le
okay you got respond to both of them. You've listened to them.
I think I have a marathon to do with Talibo, so I will start with Rahim. First, I will say nte fej jabile jang about Bob Barrow case is Buba Barrow.
Yeah,
they will sort it out. It's out of GALA. I will not say a word. What I love GALA will never die a natural death regardless of the composition. Boubacar Keita is not GALA, and GALA is not Boubacar Keita. Saibo is not GALA. GALA is not Saibo. GALA is for the Gambians, and the Gambian people are running it. So individual tax, people can have it on GALA, but within GALA, individual tax don't matter. Because if you also always say that an individual attribute will kill a movement, you movement understand. Worldwide, mo bukata ka mo choose ka go carry nya ka movement. Movement ka imagine out of something. Of course, I myself, I'm not a fan of selective accountability. A clean sheet. Just ndamari to just few weeks ago, a week ago, there is this guy he was in the media, worked for government, and now want to come back to the media, for example. I was like, okay, you join government, you do what you will do, and you want to come back to the media, or you want to come back to the civil society space. I've said the same when the former vice president left and then said he want to come back to the activism. I'm not a fan of selective accountability, right? But also people more la miralo ni la hakilo ani la faka munke amanken tele ndidano protest la nga futaje nga fo Boubacar ko wala nga fo imo ko no ite tarno la jang. That's not my role.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anywhere in the world. You see people mi alon ko nde molbe gala mi alon ko central exit ni be do ko kayambi tango to gante de wol daman diam ñoy. Because I have my difference with them from far. But there is always a common ground. For molsi kafu kula ka mi alon ko amu kule mi alna ka nal paraleta la hajola. That's how movements look like all over. Bindara Kenya, one of the biggest movement that Mosa studies of Mosa Karano. Go and ask them if it was one or two people, they are clean slate. No. It's people that came together and have a belief, and then they did that belief. Man, if I understand. So I agree that individuals should have to hold themselves accountable, but that doesn't reflect on GALA as a movement. Like I think movement in Sadeko. After the first protest and the second protest, both the Gambia and then abroad, I have traveled. Hani traino kono in Tubaudu molka londi leka fanya GALA. Man, if I understand. Nga mo de mulfana ko GALA kong ni ka bengi ke da karol fon sabay bukan konton. Coming political activity le bo nyama. If you understand political participation, iba understand la ko in a political space, right? Is acceptance and rejection. Man, if I understand. And GALA is not immune to that, especially GALA wilted at a time, at a very crucial time of our political space. So we see Valbe so Rahman Mumfo Abdurrahim Mumfo is okay. Bob should have not do A and B and D, but that's not my role to play here. Bob can handle that with President Barrow, right? So Talibo diamu jama lekijang ala miralo itandi. Andung I am not just now an activist for democracy. I am a democracy expert. I'm a specialist in democracy. My master's is in democracy. So divergent views are one of the pillars that drive democracy. Healthy conversations. Coming India musifal munka kedende. Wala ka democracy bambandi. Itela mira la betenne. Itela mira nya betenne. Anyanda ka kedene. Baratil ba ke kan tenne. Because at the end of the day, amanke komi nyi mol mum fankana bantay ka fu mole ko tenin ten kan nyakasi. Look, akam ko government me nyame rek. Hey, ndeka ko mom be fo banta mi modu ba mira ko adama buki ela mo president baro buki ela mo mi ba ke ela moyle. Mi ba na la ko do ka fa but last time nga nyingila ela o dinni activist ku njaro diam dal. So from far ka nyo hakilo yirwani nole, nga nyo hakilo franya no nim mantari nyo kan wala mbe munke ga amandia nyo e fam. Because wala hanama di yade banko ka tamandi wonyale. Ako that protest na kolbe landa tambikande and coming maybe about the AKI, the case isu mufo before nga protest because manyana ka diama kula jani nga protest nyanda kata press conference na press conference wo ni mo tara jem mbe 10 minutes silence like kado framu diamolti. Still now we are still going back to talk about the case. Man, if I understand. So either a press conference. So it's not the role of the society to tell Gambia dingule ko albala kamfa bunda wa alla nyantul tamandila nyadile, right? Protest until namanke Gambia dem yalon ko man molman democracy faham ay futa anyanda futa daming man sakunda kam mabo democracy koma kafu ko protest mambetia protest le dunia faling I can give you examples, countless examples. Hani tubabu do.
Hani
America. That's what I'm coming there. Hani America. There was a time black people were not allowed to vote. In UK, women are not allowed to vote. Iman sila bungul kono yake. Iman press conference ke yake. If intra ye silo ta peaceful protest. Anu gala man protest ke fulu jamu man peaceful. Dem fitala hoto, right? Peaceful protest.
I think that's one is not peaceful.
Yeah, understand. So ukumbi onyama for press conference lembang, for protest lembang, gala have their way. Somebody can think we can do it better, but this is better for us, and then we do it that way. That is one. Two. Taliboy restaurant fujang, but it didn't motor protest la. Konko ye muda itara yakodo boni restaurant ka domoro. Is that on me? Woman ki gala la hajoti. You understand? Mo mon dimbe dulato. Kule fintindina. But wo quota tinano coming restaurant je konko belanda mbe moto santo wa mai ko dum blokon. Nka to lenga valin so jiol. Askero nim konko mu nga val ayama modo mai ko tala ba ngabori jollof chicken ngam. How does that have to do with any negative connotation to the protest? Two, diverse people. Ako mo sifa bele fintana. Wana ko amanke mfama da mati yande why nyanta ka munke wala civil education fala munde ka mol haklol warande munem protest. Hey, niko protest. There is no identity tag. Niko identity tag ka fono ko ndelbita nga talibo ni mbuba ning fatu ning binta kamana. Niko protest. Ika fele mol mu yalonko ye found ye itebe protest ka munna ye fintina. And then nobody here is a mind surgeon to understand the mul na dulato imanna protest la bay na kudola because narange mo kilume sunyaro. Of course dauda hani kiti bundo moy sunyaro ka konti bodami. So dauda mo kilimbe taraje o dinu mu nada ka sunyaro ke. Maybe one other wall what didn't claim out of over 500, 600, almost 1,000 plus people who not protest dula. What happened no for small bijele. Malam fair understand. Journalists will not protest like need a mobile will man ke journalist. Mbe mun fola taliboy wolem ko. Ni momo ndimbe tonya fola. Ibe tilina. Galala last protest between 1965 and then man happened in South Africa. Among the damala nyimfed. More me they are in the civil society space. They are in government between 1965 can tell you an anti-corruption protest of this kind and then manke. And the protest was peaceful. You know, we did a post, the link police, the Murra police, we did a post, a debriefing with the police. Muneketa woleng, mola daji kul fatatale buba the phone come I for come in the phone come father for
exactly yeah well like aka min fotenting sorry there for cutting you short like ni nata ka silo nyim barricade wala ka jawla mal handul wo
yeah so minaka wodo
exactly.
minaka wodo andum minaka wodo ka for first mol ka come the phone ka come father but at that point I carry over 1,000 people Abdurrahman right
yeah
yep.
I carry over 1,000 people and sometimes nimu along outside they're surprised that Nkata protest with that calmness. That was so much calmness of somebody that knows my anger issues behind the scene, for example. But that what leadership is needed. Right? The few times I get angry, I wasn't angry. I was getting frustrated, which is very acceptable and normal at certain circumstances, especially if you call people from diverse backgrounds like he's taking excuse for right now. Wala ketano. But galan namol mang ninko central executive, for example, morning moment sonkaje. Mol mun naraje feel like we are carrying their voice. Ila kumakan ole benter blokon. And they also want to hold us accountable there. For example, nani ning bole promotion je bring National Sport Council ko ngati tari office dan bosol ko nani kala bula mo ko bosol ko nani tita.
Yeah, I remember that.
That is normal in a protest. Man, I understand. Because at the end of the day, we lead the group of people, we also listen to them, and they can disagree with us, Buba. I understand. Wala keta. Jamala malpractice, nakala malhandling. I addressed it. Buba, you were there. I addressed it with so much anger and with so much disappointment. Because that if I was there, that was not going to happen in the first place. Because I know, one, Jawla Nata Silomuna was a wrong one. I didn't do my silo. But because ball become fine, because Yalon is a man for it, Mansakunda, Nyanto, so until Yantakan Nankuitele. If Fintila Nyanto is an eco ha Talibo Yantakanajan, Talibo Koka Binale. Talibo but the full room for a jump with a Koko Atlantel officer. So Kamfa Domini Mema, Cooking Mianko, Amanke Ola Netaraji, and Umanke Uli Kundikataji. Then in Patele Diamuka, the Deputy Inspector General of Police. I am commanding the California Bari Ila Mol, they be slow block come back, so no well Diamuka to see a way out. Not a Molbe Burica. You could see how I ran to cover him up and to protect him. If I told GALA, as a movement, our purpose is to vandalize and unpeaceful, and encourage them. Because also, I don't understand, Kafuko Nasilo Block, hey, if protests in anywhere in this world, go and read about protests and then politics of protest, if it is not destructive, but if it's not destructive, it's not a protest. It must be felt. We cannot destroy anything. We are not going to be violent, but protest ought to have a sense of destructiveness so that it is felt that there is something going on. So it's not a crime for protesters amanke coming mole den. No. Globally, I actually wrote about protest on protest. But also I had a professor that wrote extensively about it. I'm telling you, even though those are opinions as well, even from an intellectual academic background, protest cannot become as calm as, it can be peaceful, but it cannot be calm. The protesters must be able to disrupt a little bit for the flames. So protest man ke kudi mu yango ba flako ngata si comme Bantaba. No. Ngakacha. Marana. Ye kuma jamal fo jam fonsi o se demande. You understand? So ngam fo wolen kom protest manyana ka sangara wa fo protest ke kudi mu yalon ko ni mol si da dawda ba te bi ka nyinni nekata anu mansakunda ya jibe. Protest is not a funeral or a beach campaign. And we can protest was like a funeral. You see, that's your. Ila miral nya wole dila.
Mo bela miral nya wole ji.
Hani, mo bela miral nya moje because musical mum play do lado. O musical ning protest tatale. Because follow our building la musical. Our building la musical fin nya dile biri mol sorom. Ka foko biri mol sorom fin de député o mol commande cockroach la.
This is Signal
MP, I understand.
Ale Bob Marley
mina jen.
Okay.
Ayo bondi ka fo mole ko ay mum fo amanyana ka fo no play the protest lo anu protest fon kan wala wodi. Usero dada ala masakunda munedi is a protest language. Ka corruption no end. You understand? So Bob Marley mum play the was an interlude ka mol kamde. Hani President Barrow kat sile state house nanya ndaka dogo ko mole musical peleje. That doesn't make it fural. Natara rally la political rally. Mi yalon ko anyanda ka loje la ay mol la bata bundal fo. Ay kuma sauver fo mol ya moy. Tantan jalol kana ke donje alkanyo so kodoloji o manke fural da manke jamborti. So ka music clean play protest dula pour mole because at some point I was losing my voice. And at that point the moment that Bob Marley's song was played, that was the time the procession stops. And everybody was now, was told that everybody was now dragging attention. That doesn't make the fact that until Taraje Tulul, until Manka Tulunalti, until Mubanku Doku Lali.
Tulunale Dabula.
Hani, Sangam for Hangana Jil and Calabanjil, all of them Kumfarajan, not Diamo.
Ibal political party on Belaka.
Sailamo,
it's a Kilinti.
Ailamana.
Political party or register, Atelma register. Albe this talk kan siloka
ay ngolo fo say
hanni ba kala ka pamito leta
say fo register bang fo mari sambe mum fo ko wolen ko Bob Marley mum play ya ne musical mum play ye woning protest la loi alta o mom fentinya protest anu mom fanam protest ke feati wala fengo so ko fealal nata je fealal man naje no ye mun na je yalam protest mo ke nyaming protest ne protest kumandi Gambia la fa mo ka wula ka protest kumandi ku kilina ni ta dula do de ka protest kuma ni momo ni kana je momo ni na bata bunda ila kamfa bunda ko le safe placato bala so wana nka fu mo ko Gambia will never the same again because now ni protest be awareness le kama kanna so ite kenyo sometimes feka be bukalo ka impact ni lonne bodi ka sinale ko comme ni gala bi jaka nyamin comme abe ate batane because ndel man la fi ndel tafla makku dingole ko al karri fay adama yi wala president Barrow wala kana karri fay president Barrow ndel man ka politicien oldi way galam ba nek solo fananko banko dingol yalon ko civil participation wo ka banko makoy bakare ning banko la mansa kunda la tamandiri nyala so man of understand buba so no man parna messaging about messaging come ina je ko do ya se feje mani boto itala that's a valid concern momu yalon ko ay nyanta kam mani boto san less than $1,000 ni mansa kunda sobe ya tay tilinta o be mani boto sankan wuli fula keme lulu almost wona protest dula ko save plaque pato bala
mil tilinta
e komindo
man boto le dabe say even in Europe
e komindo
e ko man sakundal mil yalon ko neatre kon tilinta ite ko tilin wala batinan da man boto dabe no tilinda mate
e ko ila komindo
banko dun la engagement pour que fambalundi wala bo determine
ni jinka jele fo yalon ko le fo last time niyo bring la min kese dia nga nyin kacha fo ko hani banku dingul ye do ko ke sartol dol bije mu yalon ko ila doko la ila tarola te bondi nola foni mansa kunda o sartol landi comme folo bi ni
ila betli men fo kante atel la ñi advocacy fal betli mbaliya la do men ke kanje wala ñindi ko ibe mansa kunda yamar le kay banku diwul fana yamar le ando protest ñi ko al si banku diwul fana yamar in that protest kay tan la banku diwul yamar le fana na lo la mu ñinati because banko diwul wala ta mansa kundati
ajibe
ndalam government ite mo ko tan ngel tam government
talibo
ni kan sobe ya tay man sobe ya
ni kan interview jibe ni journalist ko nte ko mune la kuma la wonde fondinkel ni banku diwul ko wala ya
bare mo ke la protest ko
fo ndema
ibe fan kanandi kanjande ba mo shirim be kacha
ani la moy
fan kanandi kanjamba nana ma moy bo advocate la
because in ko advocate le everywhere because ndeka ndeka doko follow mundi wala apart from protest wala ka youth empowerment ka fondinkel je coming ko ye bundal mu yalon ko abe mako ila yiri waji le nyaato ta
nin tilo be je albe bana no sa felal ya
la moy
you so fana nyanta lole nyaato le
ko le foy sa ndel ka mu ngende la advocacy mu mundi ko la fola comme ça ni be diam contente next week the whole of the 7 days I will be in Sierra ka fondinkel karandi be mu fokante wa wo ka fondinkel karandi nyin fahamru lo mu kulere wa kama sa
ina mo sama media
kama sa kunda
mo sama media bari coming kal nyaadum man sa kundala
no mo
mari bidaw la nyaadunum mer ngok ma ita mira ndol som dan dal findida an kalo ne ko albe diam kam mol mel an dol fanan hakilo yirwatale atele fofende mbula la ñi protest ñi kono gala la activities kono albitala labanna damen tulu nga belon
talibu say bangi makoy
albe fofende foka la ñi regional tol mu mo be al ni men ba koto albita mun kan nyamen tulu nga belon na bina labanna menting tulu nga lon
ndal ni mota kudo ndal ni mota kudo le may
okay abla complete
yalo wolen ngawle fo jam coming ko mol la miral nya gala la telte o control no na remember I have a university professor in the University of the Gambia that says that a take a mum fo anaka munke asi wala control no way molka mum fama molka jibe nyamin atete o control la no gala bo nyaal bari ngam
fa di yalla je nyamin ito control no
to la fo bende
yalla to lañu man sakunda
ngol fo yalla man sakunda
hammo soto le pro ka député o tin to la tel ya ñaata ko sok sitanu taranum bay distami be taranam bu sole kono
Tommy resigned. No, Tommy resigned.
No.
So NBB apply.
So Tommy resigned.
No.
No, they play again.
No, mon commande duma le priyata.
Buba.
So no nada wol beñu ko sifal ke kam. Buba. Ndenga lon ka foko. Imantara ke kan 15 ke ba kan kudo le kama.
No, kudo kama tije. So
me ko no dindo bo sino.
So Talibo. So Tango, this is the first time I'm going to talk about this. Yeah, Uncle Talibo. I'm going to talk about this on the media, right?
Yeah.
Yalong mistake ko mol bulle. Buba. Nte ngana candidate announced for National Assembly member as an independent. And the farmer politiko ke Central River region ne aning upper flood fa banta. Kebal mu bende koma including the chief. Ndeni wole tokele the 133 wards as an independent candidate for a day before MPP la primaries. Come Kebal nani muyalongo every day no laga nyindula beto. So I'm not taking an excuse. I've never absolutely intended to work for MPP. But at that point, I am caught short. Because it's not an excuse to attempt to run under an MPP ticket. It was not my intention. I have been looking for funds. I have been running. But sometimes culture, which should not bound us, can more mistake in the or mistake. If I have in fact, they must have reached out to the chief. One, rather I find out that they have threatened the chief that they can't back, and then those elders must have been convinced by them because they know if I run independent, I have funds. In a deputy one thing.
Just look
at constituency dual.
No, honestly, no. There is one regret I made was how I was dragged to that. But sometimes family level and certain respect on the society could get you to get certain things. I came back. And I will never forgive myself for that. Because I cannot know how that happened.
What's wrong with contesting?
No, I was not going to do that. Honestly, I wasn't going to do that. I know it was a setup. No, because I would have not worked for an MPP. I would have resigned. And then that's also what they thought. They thought that I will come under their ticket, but they know, few of them know, but they know I have my boss, but I will never bend to the second of an individual. So what they told them at the primaries when they took me there was National Assembly about against. They said those feedbacks we are giving to people.
So you are going to do that?
I was 100% going to do that.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna. I'm not to jump further. What I mean is, I wasn't gonna go to that parliament and dance to the tune of MPP and President Barrow.
So this is the society you marry long kata mitela.
Society
engagement in that community.
I don't want to go into bring UDP in 2017 as skipped to MPP waiting for that day to come. So they gave it to him because his purpose to come to the MPP bring adding Jawlatara primary mata was that purpose. You understand? So when they knew, because I'm not getting that money, all those who the more are independent, and then the both of us with different camp, we are dragged by the elders that were backing us to come to the MPD primaries. That was never my wish. And I'm repeating, I am not above accountability. People can hold me accountable. And that's not an anger.
I will still continue an independent ticket.
So and that's the thing. At that point, I was going to continue reading even at independent level was not certain. The content level
ya okay ye nyin jemo menke kan gala awo jemo le start popularity right expo ya understand kikta wonyale wala bula nyin activity ya ale politiko munu nyaaw na karlente no swalo
le politique sanoti
ay bari dunda politiko
you finish with political.
Huh? No, they did not announce the position. And they don't even announce. They just came and say, Carly win.
These people. Covering Tagamo ya Kabelola. Intel background le nyininka. Bri ko Omar Saibo di mala. Nte fam fele nga telephone dara. Op na keba di mala nyindi. Bari maintenant da kije wala nyindi ko même fane yala honest opinion foni. Wala nyindi ko animel lota je wala community ñu long katambate la. So this is it.
But
it's not bad. I can make Kamabo achieve can they want to expose it. Yes, but they are taking all the time. I didn't protest more.
So,
how do you set up the GB?
Uncle Talibo, expose
Hana la way of appearance. A la dress code. motal mudala ko you are serious
so mbaranga kuma clean foye bang
okay
mbuga nyim fo media way mba fala jambi yinde jela ning expose lem ning opportunity lem ndere sila jambi
pour
ning tubaw dakala président wol tubabu do no lebe sila wolle
te carte fay le jam wol tam gambe jam ngani tele tam
ndefene foy ndira jam fam
gambe janne ba
no la
ko ka tari len do ko la e fama in se kunda in tabandi ko sin no him par mo ka tari jam hanne ata ko
exposure I want international exposure not an exposure from this country.
As can international appointment so it can
exposing.
It can happen.
No, that's a whole different case.
But
I'll call for State House. Dia do wala expose okay. Allo minister muye dal siendi jang ale place di la yede.
Yaje ni sifa la atna ni meta.
No exactly.
Ni sifa la atna ni meta because munamu so imam kumo fo blalo imam kumo Kenya lo. Modol kala nyaton ko. Modol kala nyaton ko. Moral nyande tarla kuma kawul ko. Moral nyande tarla be pata kamel la ko. Moral nyande tarla jele morkeba. Ni na nandi. Ba podin na janne.
Mbetela foge ni expose le.
Distraction la kala.
Ni expose le. Ngata tara protest dula.
Ya da blal to morkeba.
Be ndemo expose so la meta.
Ngo
ndemo expose so junale.
Ngo
maybe dem antelong sa nete intelong. So ndeka na ko gaji we ngam foy wala.
Expose ani sunga expose le.
Ngam ne foy.
Sung.
Exactly. So for the exposure is in the negative part, in the positive part. Ita mo vole expo. Ya jo wanyo lebe exposure ni ningkang. Tilimbali akang. Atil MPP ko lang anala man sa ko.
Ay bentel ka da fila jam because he man na sira woni le so. Na sira won soto. Ndani tembe kal timili kulu to la timay.
So temin ku yada.
Nanin to kuyala. Ni be dima ko le bo mo do kero ko. Ibe plain clothes soto la.
Ndeza National Assembly.
Yalo sa inte bon ibe for ni nka wande mo le bulu sada dano. Albol la pour ka ko do diala ali la do ko ke. Ni afre be National Assembly be jola. Ila do ko eta ena. Par sa muna nandi ke da fay mol kay ka
ba fu masakuna ben fo MPP go masakuna ben de jol
joma harim ko yalla be ñu protest men na sainte al ka ko do ñinin dulal de to ko di yalla sada dan ya yalla ya on sa so say na tar ko be député yalla you will not do that.
Okay, thank you
mo le faham I can still do it.
You can do it.
Come on
ebe sar la munela time mo bandale ebe sar
no comme buba ñim banko bitaka ñaming comme nte ko to from mole comme bring 1965 ning ku klimbiye muye yirwa ni nyatuta tardende nyim banko ka wolen corruption oti tilimbaliya aning tonya fo baliya nyim banko ka ya jele man sakunda mun telleti anun tellom man sakundati te kango mu forealdi ning moye place dila place ning enyanta ka mutaning horomo nim buñala aning ñaatota ñil mansakunda si sino bi ya fay la mansakunda ñi neke bari buba tiñaro mun kira ñim banko kan akan sila bake ni nga moje ñim banko kan mu yalon ko ay si mansakunda support no bari kana si tede ko tajirinte yal support yalon ale atondi personal be majana bari man di oil Russian oil scandal ma ñata ko mananu nga lamoy from their perspective itele mun emira because
atele kono men do jam ale mun transparent leke ka ntandi mo la ko al ka wuro men de kenga al ya expose mo le
wa fe baje
ya
no mo gandel follow so mo gandel follow len ko no ni kan follow to follow kan del mo populist le populist the amount we get what was spent and what was left ndel mo populist
ala tema
oui avec
no ya populist
ani wani mari même populist ni ala tema
follow so la comme talibo ndela force protest ñim banko kan 2019
ale print out so
la mo
bank statement ay yo so yalo corruption banque ñu delo ngala man sa kunda ka fala nga fenke atako corruption bi say nimme yakina wefla
la moy
me akina wefla print out so na social media
and that's the problem buba first time na le safi Diouf ñi nga ba flale ay ngokele nga sen na groupe do. A lot of people that send money say we should not share their
no
wait honey research there is that respect for anonymity ning ite kodo kinte for something and you want to stay anonymous that should be 100% respect
morkeba
man fa understand na delete
jamais asset
no ela moy
be example jamela asset kabri fenkata tumo men comme ngani membe foye kabri ngunu nganal findita mo kiline ya bonde wala investigation oke fa mo jamal ko mandi bar foto nya mandar sabari kan sai
What do you mean five more Jamal?
No, he's talking about come to
Meka fo nyina ka dandar la men ka ya bar men
comme ite atel mo munti atel manke moti mun nyanta ka gala yamar
ñaari
because alte tilingo sambalaji because atel yamen tel
wul mal je mo tilindin
exactly so it's simple so we
don't atel je mo tilindin ka conclude because Allah tilingo Allah ko kono mo fundita e diplomat passport yala ko dol diala aw bal kono je wote wonte fente la tel la
okay sa
ñam ko ñam ko karaw kawandi nono wote possible lola
okay Ablaye Sarasa
wala nandi nga fo ko ila ko mo fo ñak tiñe bulle
no avocat tiña
aka tiñale
okay Ablaye Sarasa
amu dinne
bu ko sumunala
wait when
they are wrong people pro gay tambe gambian ko ñato ko be sen androl la you people are wrong
no problem that's your opinion
yes that's your opinion
no I'm not saying opinion here what I said is based on fact right now ngam oil scandal mu foten atella man sakunda ye suñaro nin tajirinte ya nin kuriya munke wo saga kono ayna laring a report ina laring amaga komi mba fokan itela miral nya fe be mu fokan galamade ni mu report be laring ko mobe nyim bango kam yalo karo kari ka
man sakunda
kari
tajirinte yala bije karo num be tajirinte yala le
Talibo Ablaye Sarasa
you will not live
ni mobe nyanda ka bulo chodi munna wala itam be doko la president baro ñol noma ibe dimba exactly
wala tan ni foy wala
exactly I'm not my father but somebody can hold you accountable. You don't hold me accountable for my father.
Even the account
no you don't hold me accountable for my father.
So
you sitting down here
400,000 people
you sitting down here only depending
400,000 people me carte o fay o man sakunda ite me alon ka fay man carte o fay ite so fo non toliye na ka kam fatela na politiko kam fatela politiko te duma
allo government force
okay
right la balu nyaka government ni government do yara ibla government no so the film formula moy about tajirinte ya
ndel lon ko be man sakunda o man sakunda support we do ko le kenyim banko kan jang ite bole enjoy kan
okay so thank you so much abarka baget I'll give you just 2 minutes
yes so I just wanted to give a reference if you look at the oil scandal we did not discuss it a lot here because maybe that is one of the outstanding petitions and that's what where the protests come out ye mo doku wuli 600,000 I don't know how to say it mandinka
per month
600,000 per month nyim banko ka
wuli keme woro
buba all together the scandal over 30 million US dollars le venista nyim banko gam through tax evasion, money laundering, bribery and corruption. Haramadi mo munke mira. Ye bala faso. E ko mansa kundale fasa wala kallo e ka fole ko wo corruption o manke. No, wo manke mira kennedy. So banko dingul salon ko comme corruption o ka mol fale. Corruption ka mol fale.
Abe même be fo ka jabe politique kenzen. They are all politicians.
No, this one
to ya had killing atije.
So this is I'm telling you the report is on there. Papa ada report karama. I understand.
The report karama de.
So I understand.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much Talibo. Ngal tentu ka je baage nga nyine surale bi ba bi na panel Jamal manna nga Talibo ne Abdourahim le soro jang tentu ke je baage kana Talibo e mitino le soro bi nga force le pour ay tujang kabine somanda to bone abijang kala mitino bayinde abulu nga Omar tentuga je bake kana defana programme fulale soro bari nkaya fayana pour programme way ke because mo jamal ke grand bantaba bato ngebe tentuke je bake kataranyeng kana nyim programme do na technician Mustafa Camara Stre Drame Samsidine Bojang Lamin Diallo ngebe tentuke je bake katara programme ko man na sponsor care finding APS ba fali ala barka bake kanyim programme fasa ka sembenti alta APS wallet o download sign albaji la quality fen jama keno ji al corresponding credit ko be sanno je free of charge real charge la fenna akam dal si fanang with the APS app fanang ala soneya kan hana tara sama be ke ngal sino bunkon ale transactional be ke kodo ki mole alla ta fengo fen sanna aliya san andum karo kono alsi wuli mo nyol kinole mole watara yuta al charge la fenna APS le be nyimbe ke kan ker finder be kordal le wafi kan dulal belto yin korda nyimma bal mi alon ko albaje kan ika se on social media tol fon le ka lo na ta kene kensen le be buli ka loro kele ni lafta fana ka si keno wafi no le se keno wafi no male ya loye ban ni lafa fana korda lorim bandi ngol fana be bulle ka fana wafi le alila nombal commande mi alon ko be break screen o duma mbal tentula kal je baki momo be programme o nyin no makan non kabring saman kabring nga commencer aning sign tema fo arjumanala bye bye.
Welcome to Care Madam Sanya, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. Man, I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities and the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. Care Finder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well, so you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot, trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Seka. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because Care Finder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 4172215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale, has an owner and not open for viewing. Care Finder is here for you.
Nyatimbo ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia le mu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyatimbo ete ku furi mbala kentala di. Ke nyatimbo ntari taba futu wola. At least ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyatimbo. Yo min fo enta sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kinu min tata fa wuli muan ime charge fenna wala nta sindija
ako ngatimbo ngoy ko kabo transito katawula fa wuli muan ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal eke tamun eke charge mun fa abuka fensi
oui
1% da malam bati
wota yara gabe no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mo baylo ko kodo ki ibadi ngol
yajale ni APS kabrin nan credit koto bari min kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat din suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto jeje nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas pawa isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
oto mbaɗen gambe no albe sito wulle fisiyata alnaleta APS wallet yela lambaylo kon APS wallet ñaata doro barin koto nim fata do suko kon to
dañu defo no le mol ñala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
basiti jembita ndo register jede kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100% Gambia 100%.